Hi, and welcome back to my film and TV channel. You're all staying safe and well. I'm going over to Netflix today, something I watched last evening. Yes, and not too near bedtime. We're looking at a horror today. We're looking at a horror from Taiwan. Yes, a Taiwanese horror film. This is called Incantation. 110 minutes. Directed by Kevin Ko. I'm going to the actors. I don't really know the actors. Obviously, I watched the dubbed version, but we'll talk about that in a moment. Directed by Kevin Ko, who also co-wrote the screenplay with Chang Chi-wei. So there you go. As I say, I'm not too up on Taiwanese stuff, so it's pointless reading out a load of names. You might be the same as me. Don't really mean that much. The acting was okay. It was okay, but as I said, it's hard to tell if the actors are good because you get the dubbed English voices, of course. It was released in Taiwan on March the 18th, 2022, and it became the highest grossing Taiwanese horror film ever. There you go. It received international distribution from Netflix, which is where I watched it on the 14th of July. And this little review and all those any scores, comments are as at the 15th of July 2022. What are the audience thinking? Rotten Tomato audience, positive enough, 60% positivity, so that's fine, there's nothing wrong with that. And it's getting a 3.6 out of 5, not loads of reviews on there, but that equates to 7.2 out of 10. Internet Movie Database, Joe Public, you and me, a few more reviews on there, of course, 2,908 reviews, a few tens, yeah, bit less ones, so we ignore those, don't we? 1,938 people scored between 6 and 9. And 616, that'd have been 666, it would have been best, wouldn't it? 616 scored it between 2 and 5. So overall, a 76% positivity. So what's it about? Well, 6 years ago, Lee Ronan is cursed after breaking a religious taboo with her ghost-busting team. Yeah, this little team she has go out to break myths and superstitions, but they go to the wrong sort of thing. Now she must protect her daughter from the consequences of her actions. What about the critics? Well, like the Rotten Tomatoes audience, the Rotten Tomatoes critics are 60% positivity. That's okay, but there's only five. There's only five critics reviews: three fresh and two rotten. So on the fresh, you've got Johnny Loftus from Decider. He said, once a choice is made to not question its character's motives and enjoy Incantation for its surface level scares, there's a charge in its sudden disturbing visuals and the manipulation of religious script and iconography into a vehicle for fear. Yeah. Yeah, it made it. I mean, if you think about this found footage sort of films, I mean, this is a mix. This is a mix-up. Some people are a bit disappointed because it's not all found footage, but it's a mix-up between found footage and camera footage. Just as normal as you get with a film. And yeah, it did make me jump in the classic Blair Witch ending sequences way of making you jump. It certainly did that. That fans, I mean, obviously had the video shot when Blair Witch came out back in the day. And it was 50-50. Some people hated it, some people loved it, and I thought it was. I didn't love it. I just thought it was a very good film and certainly worth the watch by the end. But it did take a bit of getting going. Anyway, so yeah, it was Johnny Loftus Decider. So who else is fresh? We've got Kenneth Seward Jr. He's fresh on it. He said the outright horror is fine enough. It's the subtle touches that leave a lasting impression. Well, the subtle as banging your head against concrete. That's for one thing. But we do have rottens. As I said, there was three fresh, two rotten. So the rottens, you got Megan Navarro from Bloody Disgusting. This is an interesting one. It's not that rotten as it sounds, because she says the horror familiarity and inconsistent logic choices work against the creative approach to the found footage format anchored by solid performances and a memorable conclusion. I thought the conclusion was a bit weak. I didn't like the ending that much. I enjoyed more the middle part of the film. So as I said, it was a rotten review, but she wasn't. I think it was 2.5 out of 5. She was coming out 5 out of 10, which is middling. Let's be honest about it. Fred Barrett didn't like it either. He said Incantation feels less like an attempt at exploring the possibilities of the found footage format and more like an attempt at getting away with terrible cinematography. No, I thought it was really good. I don't particularly agree with that. It was the found footage bit was good, which perhaps affected the other style of the film. But I thought it was all right. Nothing wrong with it for me. So just to sum up from my point of view, as I said, a bit mixed at the moment. So it's getting positives. I'm a bit like that. I did alter my mark actually. I give it a slightly higher, but I've come down after watching it and getting to the end and being a bit disappointed with the ending. As I said, the one critic there found it quite good. The dubbing is fine. The dubbing is okay. I've not gone back and watched it in its original yet with the subtitles, but it strikes me as something you can do if you don't mind doing that. And I think it might be better. And I think the scare sections, the scare bits work either way, whether you watch it dubbed or with the subtitles. And for once, yeah, a lot of horror films have these sort of jump scares, don't they? And this one, you sort of know they're coming, but they're still scared. They still made me jump, and not every horror does that. Not every horror gets away with it or does it as well, and this one does for me. I'm not saying it's continuous, but certainly 2 or 3 times it got me watching this, which is rare, and I enjoyed it for what it was as well. You know, obviously. So some horrors don't quite do it correctly, or they overdo it. I think this was just about right. And the link in with the child, of course, the young girl in it under threat in any horror is something that used to be a taboo subject many years ago. Doesn't seem to bother anyone now. Kids in films to try and sort of get the viewing up, if you like. But yeah, so I think it's bound to affect you, and the fact that it's very. But as I said, this is probably where even the dubbed character actor or the youngster in this, the girl in this, is okay. It's passable, but the girl herself looks as though she does a great job. So that's probably why if you watch it in its original, you'll get the full appreciation of it and what she did. Because I think for me, it made it more watchable looking out for this young girl. And when she wasn't on screen, I didn't enjoy it as much. I just thought it got a bit bland. But obviously, the young girl elements of what was happening to the young girl sort of made it very watchable for me. And if you like, the mother who's trying to sort this out and has caused all this, I didn't really care that much for her, which is odd. I mean, as a mother-daughter relationship, you know, she's trying to do the best for her daughter. But yeah, the daughter's fine. The mother, I didn't really bother. I didn't really invest in many of the characters apart from the young girl. Of course, it's not up there with Blair Witch if you think of that sort of film, but it's more perhaps comparable with something like The Ring. Both versions, the Hollywood version and the original Asian version, of course, which I thought both were excellent. It's certainly not up there with that, but as a streaming offering, it's okay. And for me, the most scary things that made me jump a little bit happened in the middle of the film. So by the time it finished and I was going to bed, I wasn't checking under the bed because obviously all the bits that scared me were sort of halfway through. So I'd sort of calmed down by the time it had finished and gone to bed because I thought the ending was just a little bit weak, a little bit disappointing. I thought it could have been a little bit better than it was. Although, as I said, that other critic thought the ending was excellent, but not for me. So, as I said, I have changed. I did have a 6 out of 10 for this, which is my watchable score. Don't get me wrong, it is watchable, but I'll do a sit on the fence one because I don't think everyone will like it. I was a bit, I'll certainly give the first half of the film up to, say, 2/3 of the way through. I'll certainly give it a 6.5, but say that the last 2 or 3 chapters just were a little bit disappointing for me. So I'll give it a 5.5, which is still an okay score. It's still a watchable thing. And if you've got Netflix, it's something to pass an hour and a half, isn't it? Hour and 40 minutes. Let me know what you think, guys. I know if you get to watch this. Thanks for watching. Please, until we meet again, stay safe, everyone. Bye for now.